Nothing like a nice hot summer day grinding. So I'm taking these seed boxes apart because even though you dump out the seed out of the box, hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Monday afternoon, and yeah, it's that time of year again. Hey, I need to shave that once in a while, so I do it in the summertime, and it's like 87 degrees today, so it's freaking warm. At least for us, it's warm. So what we're going to start out with is I want to get this cleaned up pretty decent, rinse out all the little bit of residue of fertilizer, flush out the auger, that good stuff, and then we're going to take the auger off right away so that it's ready. We can go get oat seed. But after we get the gravity box taken care of, then we're actually probably going to grind corn. These steers have been without grain for it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks now. It's been like 2 weeks. But we want to get it back into them because not that we're going to pound it to them, but to start supplementing them a little bit because they need to keep growing. These guys need to be ready to rock and roll come December. At least 2 of them do. All right, gravity box is full. Our wonderful rodent friends left us a nice present by clogging the whole bottom part of the elevator. So that was a pain in the butt to clean out, but we got it. It was all right. Just took us a few minutes. So now the grinder's in place, but we got to give that thing a good grease job, and then we should be good to go. Nothing like a nice hot summer day grinding. This stuff should grind up pretty darn nice. It should be pretty dry. And I wonder if these guys know what's going on. They've been standing there ever since we pulled this thing out. So they know. They always know. Batch number 1 is done. But remember, this bin does about 2.5 batches through the grinder. We'll fill this thing up, and we should be pretty good as far as how much corn we actually put in the gravity box. All right, so we're down at the shop. We are waiting for the co-op. They called a little bit ago and said they're on their way to spread fertilizer on the oats field. All right, so what this guy is, so this is in, the float is above this in the water, and then they put this straw in here, and this straw actually, you can set this up so that this will overflow into your tank and act like a little spray. We don't ever use it. We don't like it. It's always been shut off. But what we think happened is this had water in it over the winter, and we've had that thing in there for like 7-8 years now, and it's never broken. But we must have had just enough water in there and it broke. So I need to find a plug, whether that is a plastic plug or it is a metal plug. It looks like 1/4 inch. It might be 3/8. We'll find out. I think I found what we're looking for. It's a metal one, not the greatest. The only reason we'd want a plastic one is because we're going into plastic, and metal, if I tighten it too much, could get a little snap, crackle, pop action. Got some tape, plug, let's go get going. Because it is like so far the hottest day of the year. And cows have been up twice since I've been home for water already. So now I always have to remember to do this right-handed, hold the tape in my right hand, because I'm left-handed, so I've been accused many a time of putting the tape on wrong because I'm left-handed, because this feels awkward doing it this way. Alright, we're going to turn it on and we're going to leave it just like that, and we'll see how much it leaks. Doesn't leak at all. We're gonna leave that one on the camera. All right, so I had moved the cows yesterday. I can tell by looking out there, there's still some grass. I can still see some starts of seed heads on grass out there, especially some of that bluegrass that'll tend to head out just a little bit early. But they're doing really well. So I probably gave them a little bit small of a chunk to start with, but that's not a big deal because you can typically always fix your mistakes in rotational grazing. Last year I didn't react fast enough. Should have moved them on a couple of days, should have given them bigger areas, that kind of stuff. But you're also hoping that doesn't rain like for 2 weeks straight. Plus, the other indicator is if you're looking out there and you can't see like the tops of their nose, that means you got like 6-8 inches of grass out there yet. Now, you don't want it to get much lower than that, but if you can't see noses on a lot of your animals, you still have a fair amount of grass out there. Hey, how's it going? All right, it is Wednesday afternoon, and Dad and I are gonna hook up the gravity box, and we are gonna head out and get more seed oats to seed down with just oats for oat hay behind the house. So we're gonna go to the same place, same gravity box, yeah, all that stuff. So good day for it. Got bunch of rain yesterday, which hopefully our hay takes off because it looks like garbage. So we'll see. Let's get this hooked up. We are back, and that went okay. Probably not the greatest time of day to do it because it's like what, 4, well, it's a little before 5. We have to cross a 4-lane highway, and like it's a major highway. So that's like the only bad part about the trip, but it's not horrible. If you do it during like on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, it's not bad at all. So, but we got it 1,500 pounds. Still figuring 100 pounds to the acre at about, 10 to 11-ish acres, and we wanted to make sure we had a couple extra 100 pounds so we don't have the issue we had last time. There we go, 1,500 pounds of seed. And the stuff that we planted on the 26-acre field, Dad said is looking pretty decent. So, all right, now that we're done feeding, and the cows have finally decided that they're gonna go back out to the field. We're gonna clean out the corn planter. So I'm taking these seed boxes apart, because even though you dump out the seed out of the box, so it sits down in here like this, and this is actually, this chain drives this sprocket, and this is now disengaged. If I engage it, this pops up, this comes this way, and we'll stab into this guy and then spin right there. So I'm going to take these apart because there's a bunch of seed that's going to be trapped right in here. I'll show you guys what that looks like. These aren't all 100% prime condition, but this planter is still in nice shape. All right, so we got 2 studs here, one on either side. I'm going to take those off first. That's the nuts for them. This whole unit then should be able to slide out. And we got these 3. So then this guy comes off. We got all that seed. Simple as that. And then by hand I'll spin it a few times because there will be a little bit of seed left in here. These little belts here are essentially fingers. You've got these little fingers that as they're going around, you can see they're at varying heights. This is basically touching. This is up, so what it's doing is it's picking up a seed here on the bottom, and then it's grabbing it, taking it around, and then it's dropping it in that pocket. That's essentially kind of how you get you get the seed to drop down into like the seed disc, but that is how essentially you get like your spacing and singulation. So then you get your gearing, that thing spins faster, stuff gets closer together, that kind of stuff. So if I needed to remove or change this belt, we've had to do that before. They've snapped on us one time, and these belts are like, I think 3 years old. So then there's a couple screws here, and this plate here comes off, and there's an idler pulley in there, and you can replace all that stuff. It's pretty easy stuff to replace. Then all we got to do is just reverse the process and put her back together. And then I'll rinse this guy out before I put it back together, at least the main bin, just to get the dust and stuff out of it. Hey, how's it going? Happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve. Got to stay on the positive side. I do have to move the cows today. I think that last chunk, the chunk that they're on right now, for some reason they went through that one faster. It had just as much feed as the last one, but they went through it faster. I don't know why, but they do need to get rotated today. That's not a question. But we'll see what we're gonna do and just play it by ear. So we kind of went into prep mode, getting everything ready to go for Saturday. And as you can hear, the cows are voicing their opinion. We did throw another bale in the feeder because they had the last one taken care of, and they need to go onto a new chunk, and they know that. I know that. They're kindly letting me know that. All right, so this is where they are right now. These are the other 2 chunks. I do see a little bit of that weed we sprayed for last year, but I want to get the tank sprayer on the back of the 4-wheeler so I can start spot spraying, so I don't have to go over the whole thing. Posts and reel are right here, so grab these and I'll meet you at the other chunk. All right, we got the line set up. and they know it. This field really took a jump in the last week. A lot of this, you know, we got some orchard grass starting to head out. A lot of bluegrass, which we normally get. So a lot of this grass is, especially this bluegrass, is knee high. So it's nice, turning out well. And then a lot of clover down underneath. This one, I gotta let them in and then try and get behind them to bring them back in here, because they are kind of coming around the corner. Getting them on here, it would make sense to go straight on here, but I need them to end here to make it easier to get to the east trunk. We'll go over that when we get there. So let's try not to get run over. Well, I was hoping they wouldn't knock you down, but that jerk went under the wire. So, and that's the only thing. I should have put more posts here. That's one thing I run into, is that first time getting on the field. So I'm going to try and get him out if I can. If not, he might be on there for a little while. Now, one good sign we had this morning, Helga was in heat this morning. And then Dad said there was somebody else in heat while he was putting the bale out, but I haven't caught who that is yet. So I wouldn't mind sticking out here for a little bit, seeing if I find that. But everybody calmed down really nice. They're not, some years they will run back and forth like a bunch of idiots. So it's nice to see that they are just staying chill. So what did we add to their mineral? We're going with the Redmond 10 fine with garlic. So essentially the same Redmond fine trace salt that I've been putting out, that I put out before, whether it was in block form or bag form, but this stuff has garlic in it, and the garlic is supposed to act as a repellent for the flies. It gets in, the more they eat it, the more they consume, it gets into their system, and they kind of sweat it out, and it is supposed to act as a repellent. Now, is it the end all be all? Like, is it like this is the greatest thing since sliced bread? No. Is the IGR? No. Both of them, but I think both of them are really good products, and I think both of them help a little. So for the increase in cost to try and knock down your fly population is probably worth it. IGR to help just knock them out at the beginning, and if there are any out there, hopefully the garlic helps repel them away. So as long as Fleet keeps it stocked, which is always a major question mark. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but if they do, then I will continue to use it this summer. I hope they do. I have added garlic to the mineral, and that did seem to help in the past. Hey, happy Friday. All right, on the dock for today, not a whole huge amount. Don't have to move the cows. Just fed these guys. They got plenty of hay. They got their grain. We are going to go down to the shop. Everything is ready to go for tomorrow. It rained early this morning, so we are going to plant that oats tomorrow. And everything is ready to go. But what we're going to do now is we're going to change the oil on the 44. More just as a precautionary thing. Kind of going with the idea that if for any reason it did overheat a little bit or ran a little hot, that maybe we did something to the oil. Maybe it degraded the oil a little bit or did something to it. So just to be safe, we're going to change the oil again. So it's ready to rock and roll for haying season. All right, so I'm gonna change oil. Dad's gonna mow his back lawn. So, kind of cloudy today. It stayed cloudy, but temp-wise, it's actually kind of nice. But I'm gonna unhook the disc first. I do have one spot actually got kind of plugged up, so I gotta clean that out first. So again, changing the oil in the 44 is just a precautionary CYA type of thing. Do we have to? Maybe not, but you know, it's a cheap insurance type of thing. We're not going to change the oil filter, but we are going to change the oil. Only ran this tractor for like 10 minutes. And it's funny, you dump out the oil. This bucket's actually pretty warm. So one thing we'll do when we start filling like waste oil is I just take a spray can and I spray the side of it so that, like, put an X on it, Z or something, just so that it's kind of a marker, like, oh, hey, this is waste oil or this is not good. We still check it, just to, especially if we're looking for, like, oh, hey, do we have some good oil left around, whether it's hydraulic or motor or whatever. But having that line on there still definitely indicates, like, 99% chance this is just waste oil. All right, we are at the end of the day. It is the end of the week, so end of the video. I hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Help support the channel. And of course, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments along with any suggestions. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and help us get to our goal of 2,000 subs. Regardless of when that happens, it's still a goal. I still want to hit 2,000 subs. And of course, thanks for coming along.